ముందుకు వచ్చాను నరేంద్ర
Dr. Gopichan, Dr. Ramraju, in light of the medical profession, I am honored by their presence. Dr. Nirraju Reddy, my great friend and a well-wisher, Dr. Krishna Raju, Dr. Rajgopal Raju, and others. It is difficult to mention all the names. I apologize if I did not mention some of the names of the people who have assembled here. I thank Dr. Ramaraju and Gopichan for this invitation to give me an opportunity to narrate to you my journey in the Andhra Medical College, organizing and running a neurosurgical department. And this I call part 1. 1956 to 1974, struggles and successes of a neurosurgeon. And these are my parents, to whom I pay my respect and homage. My father is an advocate, and he was the first graduate of West Godavari district. Then my professors, Professor C.K.P. Neenan, Professor of General Surgery, under whom I did my MS General Surgery, and Dr. Ramurthy, who trained me as a neurosurgeon, and I was his first student. Now my entry to medical college is a funny incident. I am an MPC student in intermediate. In those days, MPC students were given seat in the medical college, and I never dreamt of entering a medical college at all. My aim is to become an engineer or a physicist. And I was underage at that time, therefore I had to join Andhra University BSc Honours Mathematical Physics and studied for 1 year. And then, as I was eligible age-wise, I applied to both engineering and medical colleges. It so happened, even though I got an engineering college seat, I was not informed. And it is a funny incident, an interesting incident. I will not go into details. I got intimation of admission into Andhra Medical College. I had no alternative except to join the college. And I joined the medical college on 2nd July 1945. And this is the building of Andhra Medical College in 1945. This is a pre-clinical building on the other side of the hill. And there is a hill in between the pre-clinical and the post-clinical. Now, after admission into the medical college, along with a colleague of mine or a classmate of mine, Chandramouli, I went into the anatomy museum, because that's the first time I am seeing this museum and also the specimens of organs of the human beings. And he looked at the specimen and said, "This is liver, this is liver." Then I put up a pale face because I don't know what liver is. Then he looked at me and said, "You don't know liver?" I said, "I am sorry, I am an MPC student, therefore I don't know what liver is." Then we had a pre-registration course at that time of 6 months course for us, biology, physics and chemistry. And when I went into the biology department, dissection of the frog and dissection of the cockroach, I could not get any single organ, and every time I used to fail in the dissection. And at one point of time, I thought I must quit the medical college, that I am not fit for it. Therefore, at that juncture, one of my classmates, Kamalam, who was older than me, she cajoled me, comforted me, and encouraged me, saying, no, you should not get out of the medical college. You will do better, you will do better. That's how she encouraged me, and I continued in the medical college at that time, and eventually I became a top dissector of my batch. Now, after passing my MBBS, I was doing my post-graduation in MS General Surgery. While I was in the first year, I received one night a telegraphic order posting me to a primary health center, and I was asked to join immediately. And within 24 hours, that order was cancelled. I was posted as tutor in anesthesia in Andhra Medical College and King George Hospital. That was again a very interesting story. How I got it cancelled and joined as tutor in anesthesia is an interesting story, and I will not go into the details. Working in anesthesia, I appeared for MS General Surgery and passed, because they allowed me to appear for MS General Surgery even though I was working in anesthesia department. I was in the anesthesia department 1 year before MS, 1 year after my MS, and I was struggling to come out of the anesthesia department and come into the general surgical side. It was a big struggle. Ultimately I succeeded, and on 5/5/1955, that is 5th May 1955, I joined as an assistant professor of surgery, and it was a great moment in my life. But within 1 month, we got a circular from the then Director of Medical Services, Major K.L. Rao. He is interested in developing the super specialties in the Andhra state. Therefore, he sent a circular listing about 25 super specialties and asked us to opt out for a super specialty. Then I opted for neurosurgery. I do not know why. I cannot give you an explanation why I signed for neurosurgery. The only thing I can think about it is at that time I was reading the biography of R.V. Cushing, written by Fulton, a famous neurologist. Whether it has influenced me subconsciously, I don't know. And again, all my life it is an order, cancellation and reorder. I got a deputation order, I was relieved, and the next day I got an order cancellation. There was no vacancy in King George Hospital. What do? I was a midday. There were what are called reserve posts in those days. I was taken back as a reserve assistant and posted in the radiology department. And in a few days I got a reorder, again asking me to go on deputation to Madras General Hospital to work under Dr. Ramamurthy. And you will find here Dr. Kanaka, the first woman neurosurgeon of our country. She was the house surgeon at that time. Dr. Rajgopal, Chief Anesthetist of Madras General Hospital, Mrs. Ramamurthy, Madhavan, neuroradiologist, and then S.T. Narasimhan, electroencephalographer. A few sentences about S.T. Narasimhan. He is an LLP. He was having a wonderful practice in Triple K in Madras, but somehow he decided to get trained in EEG, and he went to the United States, got trained under Grass, and bought an EEG machine and came back to Madras. And then at that time in Madras General Hospital there is no EEG machine. Because he had a private EEG machine, S.T. Narasimhan, and the government allowed reference of these patients to him for EEG, and the government used to pay 100 rupees for each patient. Mythili, neuropathologist. I think I am there. Then the training was only for 6 months. I met the BMS and asked him, sir, my training is going to an end. He said, how do you feel? If you want me to do a neurosurgery only, I want another 3 months extension. If you want me to go and join a general surgical site, I join there with the 6 month training and I will not do neurosurgery. Then he immediately ordered for a 3 month extension. And therefore 9 months of stay in general hospital training, the present standards, it is nothing. 9 months is nothing. But with 9 months training, I came back and the neurosurgical department in KGH and AMC was started on 2nd April 1956, the 4th department in the country. And it is going to celebrate 60 years this year. That's the good thing. Now, over the department started, the GO of the government said at that time that 3,000 rupees sanctioned for the equipment. You can understand what to get for 3,000 rupees. And one house surgeon is sanctioned for the department. No assistant. But anyway, I had to struggle, and there were no instruments in the department, in the unit, because there was no neurosurgery beforehand. And the professor of surgery and the professor of surgery and medicine at that time were against me. So for no reason, for no mistake of mine, probably they thought I am snatching away some of their property. Therefore they were dead against, and they passed an order that you will work under professor of surgery under his guidance, and you will work under professor of surgery under his direction. Therefore I had 2 husbands at that time. I used to attend the outpatient of the professor of medicine as a student, standing behind him in the outpatient days. I was allotted 3 outpatient days, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. You will wonder, when I was sitting in the outpatient, I used to get either 1 patient or no patient. I used to sit 3:30, no patient. There was a temptation for me to get out of the outpatient, but I realized the patient can come at 3:45 and can complain that I was not there. Not only that, if he doesn't find me there and they say that so-and-so is not interested in the department. Therefore I used to sit 2 to 4 patients or no patient, and then run the outpatient, and slowly it gathered momentum and patients used to start coming, because slowly the awareness has increased of neurology and neurological possibilities and the treatment possibilities for the patient. What about the staff? No assistant has been sanctioned. And after, I was posted not as an assistant professor of surgery coming from Madras, but I was posted as assistant professor of thoracic surgery, because there was no vacancy on the surgical side. No new person post has been created in the neurosurgery department. Therefore the order says he is posted as assistant professor of thoracic surgery and he is asked to perform neurosurgery. Therefore like that I continued for 1 year. After 1 year a new course was sanctioned in the neurosurgery department, and I was only at the status of an assistant neurosurgeon. Now, in my department, for 18 years I was there in Vizag from 1956 to 1974. During those 18 years, only for 9 years there was a committed assistant. The rest of the 9 years I had no assistant or an assistant who is not committed to neurosurgery. To give you an example, at one place at a time, an MD failed candidate was posted. He came to me and said, sir, I am posted in your unit, but I do not know how I can help you. I told him, You can help me to write the case sheet, that's enough. Rest of it I'll do it. That is how I perform the neurosurgical work. And then these four people, the committed people, Chalapati Rao, Dinakar, Ulla Reddy and Dr. Subrao, they worked with me for the first 9 years. Chalapati Rao became subsequently Professor of Neurosurgery in Kurnool. Dinakar, Professor of Neurosurgery at Kurnool and Andhra Medical College, Director of NIMS. Dr. Subrao, Professor of Neurosurgery in Guntur and Andhra Medical College. Ulla Reddy, I asked him, I used to tell him, why don't you appear and qualify? He said, I don't want to qualify in neurosurgery. But still, he used to give his services in neurosurgery department with dedication and with discipline. These are my ward staff nurses. Now, neuroradiology is an interesting. When I started the neurosurgical unit, I was a neurologist because there was no neurologist for the 18 years. I was the neurosurgeon, I was the neuroradiologist, I was the neuropathologist, all in one. I had to perform several functions, and in the new